Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some engine sounds on. So such as my voice, it's another Taco Tuesday. I really never get old. Welcome along. I hope your day has been as productive and as eventful as mine. We're here for what promises to be a very eventful race at Zolder. It's run number 5, and it could certainly be productive for quite a few of the drivers. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. The dream is alive. We are 4 rounds into the championship. It's being led by TK Drifter. He's been on the podium twice, yet to make it to the top spot. That's right, 2 seconds, a 4th and a 6th. TK Drifter. It says he's in the Lambo, when in fact he is in the Nissan GTR. And I'll get into trouble for pronouncing that way from some people, but that's the way we'll go for it this evening. So he has, as I say, hasn't won a race yet, and he is leading the way. We've got Milden in 2nd place. He's had 2 third places, a 5th and a 4th. See him in 2nd. Cool Racing. He's actually won the last 2 races. A rich vein of form. We'll certainly see this evening. Judging by the practice times, could be a bit of sandbagging going on. But in practice, it certainly looks like he's got his work cut out from this evening. Rob 2K in 4th position, 40 points off the pace. Jetpack and Nebula 1 point behind. Didn't finish last week. A difficult race at Bathurst, to say the least, for several of the drivers. Apologies as well. I've no idea at all why the broadcast cut out early. I can assure you that was a grandstand finish. Arms finished in 10th last week to see him 6th overall in the championship. Andy Cray got himself 14th. That's his 3rd finish outside the top 10 after a 4th place in race number 1. Renville's got a DNF, but still consistently inside the top 10. Sees him 8th overall. Blue Mosquito and Clay at 9th and 10th. KOL Fighter then in the Ferrari. I'm actually on board with him at the moment. He is that 3rd place last week onto the podium. By far his best finish of the season, and it sees him 64 points off the lead, but only 2 points off a top 10 spot. Valren WTR Buzzy 12th, 13th and 14th. Hendricks Nico in there as well. GT Jamie only finished 2 races so far this season. The rest of the drivers with a couple of starts and non-finishes, apart from Flying Frome, who's had his points reset because he's changed cars. So he's lost all his points and will only gain points as of the last round, which is the first round he raced in his new car, which was the Aston Martin. And he finished in 11th place, which saw him get those 10 points back again. So far this season, we've had 3 different drivers on pole position, with it being Jetpack and Nebula, Arms and Morex, who hasn't raced. Oh, that's right, yeah, he did race last week, took pole position, then crashed out and didn't finish. Finished in 17th place. So a tough outing for him. We are indeed at Zolder for round number 5. We've got Mazzano next week. That's one of the 90-minute specials. The drivers will have multiple mandatory pit stops to take to get their way through. 2 to get their way through over the 90 minutes. And then we are on our tour of North America. It's Circuit of the Track Limits, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen and Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca will be another 90-minute. We'll give this a quick rundown just now. If you are looking to support the Formula Racing League in their endeavours to bring you PS4, PS5 and PC racing, Patreon is certainly a great way to do so. You can get all the information at formularacingle.co.uk. You can get all the links to Instagram, Twitch, and of course, most importantly, Discord. so you can get yourself out on track racing as well. There's an FRL supporter, the Elite and the Alien. All 3 tiers will get a driver number, a reserved seat and an FRL Lotto entry. The Elites and the Aliens will also get a number logo, they'll get coaching, and they'll get a new to PC sim racing guide. And the Aliens, on top of all that, will also get an overlay banner, yearly prizes, a Sim Hub Dash, Elgato ACC icons, and a custom livery as well. So like I say, if you do want to support, that is the way to do so. We've also got some... Nope. Where's it gone? There is another event that I'll be commentating and broadcasting. It will be round 2 of the Endurance. It was slightly delayed, of course, because of the issues with the update. But we are underway with that. It'll be round number 2 next at Paul Ricard. That's Friday, December the 2nd. So make sure you set your calendars for that one. And there they go. Straight out the box. We haven't even looked to see Morex is racing this week. We've got 25 drivers taking part around Zolder this evening. Safe to say it is a fairly short track, 2.4 miles long, an absolutely stunning piece of tarmac. Hasn't undergone many changes. In fact, it's lost a quarter of a mile in length the way it's been changed over the years. But the newer iterations, the Jackie Echt, it's basically 3 chicanes. Let's face it, that's what this is, and it's all about who can take the curbs best throughout the race. We're on board with championship leader TK Drifter. Good field of drivers out at the moment. Yeah, let's be brave and jump on board for a lap. Look at that, I went straight to helmet car. I'm almost nervous about that. Let me just, in fact, as well. Okay, it's demanding that I sign in the chat. That's disappointing. Let me just see. Right, okay, so I'm just doing a couple of social media things, sharing the stream, letting people know that we're live. Taco Tuesday Tier 1, there's us there. Excellent. There we go. Look at this technology. Let's just see if it's fucking... Oh, now we can hear myself. Even worse. There we go. Right, so that is pop up there. Superb. Okay. And there we're sitting. Like I say, it is Zolder. 1963 this one was built. I was going to do an onboard. We are on board. This one is the Villeneuve chicane. It's amazing how much of the curve you can cut on the left, and it's amazing how quickly you will get track limit violations. Once you're through this chicane, you've got Terlemen to make your way through, then down into the hairpin, which we affectionately call Boulder. If you knew the actual name, you'd understand why. And then the Jochen Ringt. A lot of corners in this track end with the word Bocht. Bocht means corner. Jochen Ringt, of course. Jochen Ringt, sorry. The famous Formula 1 driver. Then Jackie Eck, the final chicane. Just pit entrance there on the right hand side. So first flying lap is going to be set, and it is a 1:29.8. So that is pretty much what I'm able to get in my little Ferrari. Oh, and he's just gone red, so this one isn't going to count. He's done that early, unfortunately. Nope, we want that one. So let's jump back on board and see how the rest of the times are falling into place. Jetpacker Nebula doing exactly what he needs to do early doors. He's only 200s ahead of Milden, but he's in pole position. Cool racing. He's close as well. He was sitting about 8th in practice. So that is certainly a good start. Bruno's just gone quicker though. The Audi running well here in Belgium. GT Jamie 5th, TK Drifter down to 6th, QL Fighter. He's got 7th place at the moment. Clay, Arms and WTR 8th, 9th and 10th. Val Ren Flying From in the Aston 12th at the moment. GT Jamie in the pits in 5th place. Somebody up. Morex has just gone 5th, 2.5 tenths off the 129.3 set by Bruno. Romario Art Corner, we're expecting quick time from him. Renville as well. Romelson, Hendricks, Mix, and G Harvey still to set times. GT Jamie in the pits, 10 minutes to go. So yeah, no opening exchanges. It is game on. Oh, cool race down at 28. I did think we'd see 28s and beyond. And there is Cool Racing. He was sandbagging in qualifier and practice, sorry. And he is bringing it to life now. Just under 10 minutes to go. 1 minute 28.8. There's Renville. I was just saying a moment ago, expect him to set a quick time. He's gone 2nd place then. So it looks like it could once again be a fairly strong showing from the German cars up in the top. Of course, GT Jamie in the Aston, TK Drifter Championship leader in the Nissan. But at the moment, Mercedes, BMW, Audi and Porsche are controlling the top 4. In fact, controlling the top 6. Morex leading the Brits with the McLaren in 7th. Just going across the line. And he improves and goes 4th place then. Knocking on the door, less than a 10th behind Bruno. Sneaks himself ahead of Jetpacker Nebula. Cool Racing's just gone quicker as well, actually. Oh no, sorry, it was Cool Racing that did 28.8. I do apologise. It's TK Drifter. He's got himself up onto the 2nd row after hearing me talking about German manufacturer domination. He's gone and hold on. Oh, Jetpacker Nebula in the Porsche. Very quick time. We've seen another Porsche just pulling over. There's Jetpacker into the pits. Cool Racing. They're all coming and knocking, but he's still got the top spot. We've got Hendricks, Art Corner and Romario. Still to set times. So many jokes. But we'll leave the football jokes alone. G Harvey's currently 22nd with Rob, 2K and Mix stationary and leaving the pits respectively. 20th and 21st, Blue Mosquito and Flying From once again inseparable. From crosses the line, no improvement. Blue Mosquito just coming to the final corner now. Let's see if he improves on his time. Clay's in 12th in the pits. The Lamborghini crosses the line. No improvement. Buzzy 17th, WTR 16th. Val Ren in 15th place. It's Nico in 14th at the moment, but Andy Cray in 13th place. Clay currently in 12th. GT Jamie in 11th. Arms 10th. Romelson 9th. KOL Fighter in 8th. Morex and Milden 7th and 6th. Milden just making some changes in the pits. Renville and TK Drifter 5th and 4th. Nebula and Cool Racing are 3rd and 2nd. It's Bruno in the Audi, 1 minute 28.722, 88 hundredths ahead of Cool Racing. Could not be closer up at the top. Love to see this. Only half a second separating the top 6. Second separating, in fact, the top 14, 1.083. We'll say that Connor's within a second as well. So the top 14 then. Very close between them. 6 minutes left to go. Bruno's in the pits, sorting out some tyres. There's Cool Racing just coming towards the hairpin. I mean, it's not quite a hairpin, but it's pretty much close enough. Absolutely flying exit. Of course, since the 1.8 update, the braking at this last corner we've just seen Cool Racing go through has changed significantly. It's safe to say you can get a lot closer to that. Cool Racing, that was his outlap there. There's up another car just ahead of him. Somebody just pulling over then. TK Drifters in the pits, Renville and Mildown. That's a Ferrari. Any second now the camera will catch up, and now we'll just see the back of him switch to another camera. There we go, Mildown. He's just been overtaken. GT Jamie in the Aston popping up into fourth. So he has got it going at the minute. He's sitting at 10th and a half. So what is that? 0.08 of a second ahead of Arms at the moment. Arms and Drifter. Almost equilibrious gap there. Just fix that. There's been a change. Flying Throne dropping down the order then. Rob 2K, WTR, and Romario. Hendricks as well. That was the Ferrari was spied earlier. He's making his way up through the field. Everyone has set a time at the moment then with 4 minutes to go. 1.9 seconds separates the entire field. Harvey in the Harvey in the Honda. The driver bringing up the back of the grid at the moment. Hopefully that's not stuttering too badly for your good selves. Flying Throne is in 24th. Himself and Blue Mosquito now separated by Rob in the Bentley. Mosquito's in the pits with 4 minutes to go. That's not showing up on the board. WTR, Romario and Hendricks, 21st, 20th and 19th. Val Ren and Nico, 17th and 18th. Connor, Clay, Andy Cray, 14th, 15th and 16th in the moment. So that is 16 drivers within a second. Still no change up at the top. The front row, ooh, Arms popping on there. GT Jamie, TK Drifter 6th. Arms up at the 4th. Renville in 7th. Morex in 8th. Oh, that's a big old wigger. That exit curve, that was exactly the chicane the curve was talking about. He's had to get off the line. He knows he's not got long left now. 3 minutes still to go. Oh, Jet Packer Nebula. How close is that? 38 hundredths. 8 hundredths separating the top 3. A 10th and a half separating the top 5. 28.7. The time they're all here in top. But yeah, Bruno leading the way at the moment, but Jet Packer doing everything he can to catch up. A lot more drivers now. Within a second as well. Art Connor. We've had someone go off track, but that unfortunately is too small for me to read. But Connor, he's within a second himself. And he's 17th place. So it really is anyone's guess. Wow, Arms. That stuff makes me nervous. No. So let's crack on. We'll jump back into that. I was getting so close, and your eyes did not deceive you before. No, that's not what I want. Your eyes did not deceive you before we were cruelly kicked out there. That stutter did seem quite ominous. That was 2,000th of a second separating first and second place. Could have swore I switched the intro video off, but never mind. Let's just crack on. Thankfully, we've got a shorter password. Hurrah! Although I'll now get the blame of the crash because I requested a shorter password right on cue. Well, I actually needed one, so let's see if we can get back in here nice and quick. Excellent. And we are back. Let's jump in and see what we can see. There was 2 minutes left to go qualifying. Ooh, we've got a minute left to go. Excellente. Oh, it's Cool Racing back on the top spot with a 28.647 Milton. Half a 10. Look at this. This is ridiculous. There's a 10th separating the top 5. 73 hundredths off the pace is Arms. 75 hundredths off the pace is Bruno. 30 seconds. So this is what the drivers... Oh, it's come right down to this. KWL Fighter's in the pit, so he can't do any better than 12th. Clay and Buzzy, 14th and 15th. Flying Throne, 21st. Hendricks in the pits in 22nd. Oh, Brandon Glover has just joined. I wonder if that's why I got kicked, because someone joined. The timing was certainly fair, but it's good. We've got another racer in. Brandon in the Jag. Is he going to get a lap set? That would be absolutely heroic if he did. Cool Racing is still out on track. In fact, he is... Yep, that's through turn 1 coming into turn 2, so he's done. Milden in the pits, done. Bruno's just gone top. Bruno has taken pole position in the dying Brit. Although in saying that, he's taking pole position. Yeah, Milden's in the pits. Ams is still out on track. He's crossed the line. He's not gone any quicker. Neither has TK Drifter, Morex, Jetpacker, Nebula. They're still crossing the line. That was the Jag of Brandon Glover. He's obviously just trying to get some tyre data. The Honda. Anyone else? Renville. Nope. Rob 2K. No, according to this, they're on track, but they're not. So let's have a look. There is a couple of cars out on track, and for some reason we can't get to see them. Yeah, so Brandon's still out. Blue Mosquito's not out. Valren, there we go. I jumped a bit too quick. Valren jumps up to 17th. Nico, 21st position. So let's get a look at the full results for qualifying. Purple in Sector 3. Arms in Sector 1. Jetpacker Nebula in Sector 2. The fastest driver, but the 1 minute 28.615. Bruno takes the top spot. Cool Racing 28.647, followed by a 28.697 for Milden. The two Mercedes third and fourth. Arms in fifth, 28.7. He's got Jetpacker in fourth. Sorry, Jetpacker Nebula in fifth. Morex in sixth. TK Drifter in 7th, GT Jamie is in 8th place, with Renville in 9th, and Mix 64 in 10th position. Romelson in 11th on row 6 alongside Art Connor. Row number 7, 13th and 14th is KOL Fire and Rob 2K. Row number 8 we've got Clay and Romario, with row number 9 being occupied by Buzzy and Valren. WTR and Andy Cray. 19th and 20th, and on row 11 it's Nico and Flying Throne. Hendricks in 23rd, Blue Mosquito in 24th position. It's G Harvey going to start in 25th, and Brandon Glover joined late, didn't get a time set. He only managed a lap during the quali session right at the end there. He's going to start on row number 13, 26th position. So he's going to be bringing up the rear. So plenty of drivers out on track. Bruno in the Audi leading the way. This is Zolder round number 5. We've got Monza next week. As I mentioned, it's one of the 90-minute specials too. Mandatory pit. I've really got myself out of breath reading over the end of that. 2 mandatory pit stops in the 90-minute race for the drivers to contend with around Monza. Turn 1 that is fairly infamous, it is safe to say. Circuit of the Americas. is where the PS5 drivers will be heading. The PS4 drivers on a different calendar due to the fact that obviously the PS5 has been updated to include the American tracks like the PC game. So we've got Indianapolis, then Watkins Glen, and then the season finale, December 20th. Will be 90 minutes at Laguna Seca. Absolutely phenomenal track. We get to see all the drivers. It was mentioned before as well, Formula Racing League. We do have Patreon if you are looking to support support Formula Racing League, bringing PS4, PS5 and PC racing to the masses. FormulaRacingLeague.co.uk. You can get all the information there. Facebook, Instagram and Twitch as well. And of course on Discord, the most important place to be to make sure you keep up to date with everything that's going on and get yourself involved on track. There is the FRL Supporter Elite and Alien. All three tiers will get you the driver number, a reserved seat for free, and an entry into the FRL Lotto. The Elites and the Aliens will also receive a number logo, coaching, and the new to PC sim racing guide when it becomes available. And the Aliens, on top of all that, will get themselves an overlay banner, yearly prizes, a SimHub Dash, Elgato ACC icons, and a custom livery. I would sing Anna Partridge in a Pear Tree because we're going up to Christmas, but I'm sure someone would then ask for a partridge in a pear tree. I really need to stop giving away my track map. That was supposed to show the stand-ins, but we'll leave that there. And that's still running as well. Perfect. It is Zolder 1963. Slightly overshadows, it's safe to say, by its slightly more famous Belgian counterpart, of course, my beloved Spa, despite what some people say. Zolder is good. It's definitely not the best track in Belgium. Pretty unlikely that Formula 1 is going to return here, but certainly DTM and GT3, GT4 racing thrives at this place. Absolutely phenomenal course. Very tempting to go for overtakes in quite a few places. You can certainly easily come undone. And we're going to see the drivers, I think, try and use their pit stops strategically. Despite the size of it, it's actually one of the most detrimental pit stops on the racing calendar. I know that seems weird. I'm just going to get... I've got... what did I do with it now? I had that looked out and now I can't find it. Yeah, I'm going to keep looking for that. Haha. Excellent. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. So yeah, so Zolder, 77% of a lap is lost while you're in the pits. And people talk about Spa. To put that in perspective, at Spa you only lose 69% of your lap. So you actually lose more in the pits at Zolder than you do at Spa. So here you go, despite Spa's pit lane obviously being so long, the rest of the course is fairly long itself. And the most detrimental on the current calendar is actually Zolder at 77%. At Bathurst, only 47% of your lap time is lost if you can get through the chicane. Kyalami and the Nürburgring, you only lose 55% of a lap there. Silverstone's only 52%. Suzuka only 54%. Laguna Seca, you lose 72%. Again, being such a short track means that any type of stop in the pit definitely detrimental. And you've got Paul Ricard, which we'll have it close for the endurance race. You lose 57% of your lap there, so a fairly forgiving pit stop at Paul Ricard. So there you go. This week's interesting facts. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see when the drivers, anyone thinking about an early stop, might need to get it done significantly early. Given that you lose 77% of your lap, it means that anyone that is just on 77% of the way into the lap, you're going to catch right up to as you come out the pits. So if you do want out and clear air, then it is going to be a lap 1 stop. I'm not sure whether we'll see any of these tonight. It is an hour that they're racing for. They can easily do that on the tyres. Double clouds in the sky though, so the potential for rain definitely there as well. And it could be heavy. So drivers hoping, I would imagine, to get that clarified for so they know what they're doing with the tyres, because it might rain a bit, it might rain quite a lot. Track conditions can change very suddenly indeed. So we'll see how the drivers cope with that. It's going to be Bruno leading the way, not by much though. The Germans were all conquering in the top 5. It's definitely a strategy I think we could see employed towards the end. There is the green lights and we are away as we look underneath the bridge. We see the cars going 3 wide and inviting corner, and it's the Mercedes that move with that inside, and I think Milden's made the move already. He has indeed. He's got himself ahead. A cool racing into turn number 1. So Arms and Jetpack and Nebula going side by side. Arms maintains the position. Morix looking to make an improvement on TK Drift with GT Jamie tucked in there as well. It's Renville in 9th, Mix 64 in that 10th place as well. Oh, somebody's on the dirt there. I think that was in fact Mix 64. He does look like he's running close to the edge there. A couple of cars glitching on the screen. I'm not going to say it out loud. Fingers crossed we're all running smoothly, which I'll find on the screen. It is K-Wheel Fighter that we're on board, but he's in 4th position, I believe, at St. Hendrick. So there's been some kind of collision at the start, and a big one at that. That is the Lamborghini, a Blue Mosquito. Finds himself down at the back with Hendricks, Nico flying through him. Oh, and that's Renville. That is Renville. No, it's not. That's the other BMW. It's Andy Cray. Sorry, it's Andy Cray, not Renville. They're in identical cars. He is now dropped down the order then through that second chicane. So both chicanes causing issues for the drivers. Bruno, no such issues. Half a second lead as he crosses the line to start lap number 2. It's Milden up in the second. Cool Racing in third. Arms is in fourth. The Jetpack and Nebula in fifth. TK Drifter is in 6th place. He's got a battle on his hands though. He's got Morix looking to improve. He's got Jetpack and Nebula defending ahead. Art Connors in 8th from Melson is currently in 9th place. He's got K-Wheel Fighter just gone round the outside of Rob 2K as well, with Mario close in this battle as well. That is Renville. So Renville did drop down the order. Something else happened to Renville. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Did he pick up damage after we saw him spin, or have both of those BMWs had themselves a moment? Renville certainly carrying damage. We haven't seen anyone coming to the pits as yet. As WTR Brandon Glover up to 16th place. What a start by the Jag driver then. He's got Mix and Buzzy, the McLaren pair, just behind him, flying through in his new Aston Martin 19th. Nico Andy Cray. Just waiting on the camera to catch up there. Blue Mosquito again with the camera, thanks very much. There we go through the second chicane. That sounded really wifey there, didn't it? GT Jamie and Valren bringing up the rear of the moment. Valren, another car carrying a fair bit of damage then. Up at the front is Cool Racing and Milden. They're still nose to tail with Jetpack and Nebula still looking to fend off TK Drifter, who's now seriously occupied with Morix and coming out the last corner. He's on a big old wiggle. Morix is going to look to pounce into turn number 1. He's definitely got the distance in the slipstream. Or does he? No, he doesn't. The Nissan Oh, I tell you, and he's let the back end of that McLaren go, but he's managed to hold on to it into turn number 2. Really did push his luck a bit, opens up the corner a bit much there. Nowhere near either of those apexes. Gets a bit close there. He's going to need to pull something very special through here to get back up close enough into the first chicane. Not to be for Morex at the moment. Still close up the front with Bruno in first place. Milden in second. Cool Racing in third. It's Arms and Jetpacker Nebula who are having themselves a fair old battle. We've got more positions being dropped down the order. As you can see, there's still an absolutely righteous battle going on. Oh, Brandon Glover. Oh, there's a big mistake there. Someone's made a mistake going through the chicane. I think that might have been the Bentley or Romario. Well, that is the Bentley or Romario. I think he's made the mistake, had a wiggle on the curbs, and he's been tagged because of the loss of momentum. Himself and Mix 64 are now going to tumble down the order as WDR Buzzy. Oh, and we've got flying from. Looks like he's Val Wren that is struggling to keep the car in the background there. So Val Wren, I think, needs to come in and get that car repaired as soon as possible. There's confirmation on Romario. Mix 64 now dropping back down the field. GT Jamie carrying damage as well as Val Wren. G Harvey, I believe, is damage free at the moment, but is down the order. More damage on that McLaren in the foreground. A Buzzy as well. Andy Crane, 18th place. Seems to be damage free at the moment. The only Bentley to be without woes. See Renville really struggling there. Brandon Glover, despite that full sideways through that first chicane, he now finds himself up to 14th. That's a 12th place improvement. Valren does indeed come in to get that damage repaired and get his mandatory stop out of the way. Brandon Glover then in the Jag, as I say, up 12 positions and all over the back of a damaged Renville. Clay and Rob 2K are having themselves a battle. It was Rob 2K I declared earlier. He wasn't the Bentley that we saw, of course. But he did have a bit of a sideways moment. We've got KOL Fighter protecting his position in the top 10. In the top 10, it's Rob 2K looking to take that from him, with Romelson just ahead of him in 9th place. Art Connor and Morex 7th and 8th. Bit of a gap between TK Drifter and Morex now. The race has got going. Drifter showing some great race pace. Jetpacker, Nebula and Arms fairly inseparable. Arms trying to shake off the slipstream being afforded to Jetpacker Nebula. Definitely better just going in a straight line, although Jetpacker Nebula is going to go side by side. They're going to be number 4. Not going to have the pace to go around the outside. Goes for the cutback though. Has he got it done? He's going to be on the outside, of course. Turn number 2, and he's got that one done and dusted. Gets his nose in front and nails that apex absolutely beautifully. Jetpacker Nebula up into 4th position. Arms now down into 5th. TK Drifter, the car lurking just behind. Rob 2K still applying pressure to KOAL Fighter, and still a good group of cars close in here, as you can see. That is the Honda that isn't shown as a Honda. Oh, it's G Harvey. Yeah, it's shown as a BMW. He must have changed the cars. It's weird the way it does that, but yeah, so it's G Harvey in the Honda in 21st position, and GT Jamie's just lost the momentum. Is he carrying damage? He's just lost the momentum. Is he carrying damage? Well, it looks like a bit of separation. Yes, there is. Oh, and that is a sideways slide by Romario. One-way ticket into the wall. Mix 64 makes the position. Romario returns to garage. So that's going to be a 2-minute penalty and a fairly monstrous slap on the wrists from the race organisers as well. Val Wren in and out of the pits. As you can see, his car well and duly repaired. In the foreground there was GT Jamie. His car definitely not repaired. He's still applying the pressure to G Harvey. The cameraman's going to catch you any second there. We'll go, thank you very much. He's applying the pressure to G Harvey. Blue Mosquito just ahead in that Lamborghini. So a three-way battle for that 20th position is ensuing. Arms and Jetpacker Nebula. Jetpacker pulled an absolute stunning manoeuvre to get that 4th position from Arms. Arms at no means has let go of the battle for 4th place though. He's still absolutely hanging in there. Right, let me just see if I can get rid of that flashing. Excellent. And it just randomly picks a card. Phenomenal. So we'll do that, and excellent. So yeah, Arms and Jetpack and Nebula, very close one. Another K-Well fighter as well. He's finding himself sandwiched between Romelson and Rob 2K. We've seen Rob, I think, have a moment earlier. Oh, yeah, he did. A couple of Bentleys. I know I got them confused at one point, but Rob did have himself a bit of a moment. It's just tyres slightly compromised. That's GT Jamie in the background. Just coming through the second chicane, trying to get his way past. Oh, and that's a big moment from Mix64. We saw him involved in his incident, so his tyres might not be perfectly round at the moment. Mario's still in the pits. Valrent and Nico have taken their mandatory stops. GT Jamie and G Harvey still battling for this 20th position. In fact, it is a battle for 19th as they've caught right up onto the back of Blue Mosquito in the Lamborghini into the final chicane. That's the pit entrance on the right. None of the drivers using that on this lap. No one up at the front coming in either. Rob 2K is definitely quicker at the K-Well fighter at the moment, as is Brandon Glover. I think it's potentially helping Brandon keep up with Renville. I mean, he's been behind them for a couple of laps now. We know that Renville's very quick, but we also know that Renville's carrying a bit of damage. So he must be doing some serious defending to keep that Jag in his rear view mirror. Just in the background there, you can see them coming through that chicane. Both of them make it through, but you can clearly see the front of Renville's car. Not the way it should be. WTR comes in to take his pit. Valren and Nico. The other two drivers getting their pit stops done. Romario is still in there. WTR. Very close coming through there. G Harvey, Blue Mosquito still the cork in that ball with G Harvey, Jamie and Mix64 chasing them down. And Mix64 really is on the back there. And GT Jamie's going to box himself in if he doesn't be careful. Mix potentially with a cutback. It's going to get side by side. He's definitely got a lot of slipstream there on the way along. GT Jamie, oh, he's trying to break the slipstream. He's taking the inside line. He's carrying a bit of damage. Mix64 is side by side past the pit entrance on the exit. He's going to have the inside curb. Does he have the momentum to make it stick? Not to be on this go. Oh, and that's the Honda down. GT Harvey's made a mistake on exit. So they've all been promoted to position. Mix did get the positional improvement, but it was at the expense of G Harvey in the BMW. Made a mistake on in the Honda. It's easy seeing where I get the majority of my information from. But yeah, he's definitely in a Honda, even though it says BMW there. So yeah, he's dropped down those positions then. So Blue Mosquito's got himself a bit of breathing room at the moment. Not so much for Buzzy, who's being hunted down by Hendricks. And Buzzy himself looking to get an improvement. Ooh, over Andy Cray was a wiggle on exit of that second chicane. Renville has been overtaken now then by Brandon Glover. Brandon 13 positions he's made up. Clay in 12th, Rob 2K in 11th, with K-Well Fighter and Romelson closely locked in battle for 9th place. As we can see, Romelson got K-Well Fighter right in that slipstream, and Rob 2K is going to be benefiting from that as well. So is Clay as well, in fact. He is right in the hunt for a position there as well. Cool Racing is now right back on to the back of Milden, as is Jetpacker Nebula, who's got himself to within 7/10 of this podium battle, and he's done that by setting the fastest lap of the race so far. We're 13 minutes in. Still, thankfully, got 47 minutes left to go. Plenty actually still to come. GT Jamie comes in to take his pit stop. It's WTR in the Ferrari who is the... Oh, and that is a lot of damage on the Aston Martin for Jamie then. So that'll explain why WTR is so far through. Valren and Nico are both going to advance ahead of Jamie as he's getting that damage fixed. Blue Mosquito is now behind Mix64. Hendricks Hey Chris, how we doing? This is epic. We have 80 plus drivers across all the Taco series between PS4 and PS5. Wow. That's incredible. 80 plus drivers on console. That is epic stuff, dude. Epic stuff. I guarantee the best racing's in this split, though. Just saying. Just saying. It's been a good start. It's been a good start. Bruno's led from the start. Milden. Oh, big wiggle for Jetpack and Nebula. And then he was right on the back of Cool Racing, looking like he was going to make a move. And I tell you what, that's given Arms a big old sniff at the back of his exhaust pipe. Then TK Drifter won't be slow and tagging onto this battle as well. Coming into the second chicane, or sorry, the first chicane, and it's an entirely different lay of the land that Jetpack and Nebula was expecting. He was potentially going to be side by side with Cool Racing, and instead he's got a rear view mirror full of Audi. TK drifting again, following him through. Bit of a gap back now to Morix and Art Corner, with Romelson still being followed by Rob 2K, but Rob doing more defender from KOL Fighter and Clay than he is looking to make moves on Romelson ahead. Brandon Glover again. Great race so far. 13 positions he's made up so far. Buzzy Hendricks and Andy Cray battling for that 16th position at the minute, as you can see, and I believe that's Buzzy got the move done. Buzzy is indeed ahead of the BMW, and I think the BMW is going to lose another position as well. You can see the Ferrari Hendricks going up the inside the cameraman. Thank you very much. Oh, and he's got that done, and he's made that stick. He might potentially get a slap on the wrist from the in-game stewards, but Hendricks has got the car through there. Blue Mosquito into the pits. Right, the camera's jumping again, so if we get kicked out, we do apologise. But it starts jumping about like that, we tend to have some issues. GT Jamie is back out on track, and he is just behind WTR. So that's either going to update. Oh no, sorry, he is just behind. Oh. Yeah, we're fine. We're still here. It's phenomenal. Cameron's out. Okay, there we go. Mix 64. We're on a car. We're on a car. Mix 64. He's right behind, as I said. Andy Cray. Hendricks making that move on the last lap as Andy under threat once again. Mix, what a move. He's opened that corner right out to try and get the cutback. He's got it done up the inside of turn number 3. He's going to have the apex. He's certainly going to have the position going into the first chicane. Although Andy Cray looking for the cutback. He's definitely in the slipstream. Does he have a counter move to be made? G. Harvey's just down the road. Andy Cray confirmation he is in that 18th position. What's going on? Yep, so that is Mix 64. Still made his way through. Oh, it's hard to keep up. There we go. Let's maybe just go to the closest bar, because it's Rob 2K and Romelson are pretty close, although Cool Racing and Milden getting themselves very close to one another as well. So a great battle those two are having. Rob 2K in 10th place. Romero's still in. I wonder if somebody was joining or leaving. Nico, 25th place. He's been in the pit. So is Val, Ren, Jamie, WTR, and Blue Mosquito. Renville finding his way in and out of the pits. So we'll see where he slots back in. G. Harvey, 19th at the minute, but Andy Cray not far up the road. Still Rob 2K trying to get past Romelson. He is getting closer and closer as the laps go by, and Jetpacker Nebula has been overtaken by Arms. He now finds himself in 5th place, so we did miss the overtake there. You can see the battle ahead between the two Mercedes, Cool Racing and Milden. Oh, Cool Racing doesn't get the exit he was looking for there. That's a lot of dirt on those tyres. TK Drifter being dragged along as well. Let's see if we can make this work. There we go. Always makes me nervous using using the onboard cameras and stuff. But there we go. We'll get this back up and running in a second. But yeah, fascinating battle going on right through the whole field. We'll get back to it very quickly indeed. and see how this one ends. And more importantly, what ramifications it's going to have for the championship. I do apologise. Try to be clever there. Take a quick drink of coffee. Didn't go well. So that might have been partly my fault. I did use the square button to make the URL, the HUD disappear at the top. Hopefully this doesn't lag for the drivers. Let's get back to the live screen and see what is happening. So yeah, it seems to be when you hide the UI, it doesn't like it. Oh no. So, Bruno's still leading the way. Milden in second still. It's still Cool Racing in third. Arms in fourth place. Jetpacker Nebula looking to reverse that position with TK Drifter hot on their heels as well. So, podium positions definitely nowhere near decided. Blue Mosquito is back out the pit, so is Renville. He was the driver that was leaving just as we were ejected. And he has maintained his lead over the rest of the drivers that have taken the piss. Here's Andy Cray coming in. Blue Mosquito. He's under a lot of pressure at the moment from WTR in the Ferrari. And so in the background, GT Jamie just going past G Harvey. Harvey hasn't taken his pit stop yet. So Jamie just unlapping himself as he has taken his pit stop. And as I mentioned, Andy Cray, he's in the pits, so G Harvey's ahead of him. There's Hendricks being followed by Mix 64. 18th and 19th, these two, so they're at the back of the pack. Yet to take their pit stop. Andy Cray drops down there. Mix. Oh, and that's a Ferrari. It's not KOL Fighter. It's WTR. So I wonder what's happened there. He is dropped down the order. Looks like he's got a bit of damage there as well. GT Jamie safely through. Blue Mosquito and Renville also making their way through. Andy Cray just on his pit exit. Val Wren still watching the battle just ahead of him. GT Jamie catching back up to Blue Mosquito. Clay and KOL Fighter look like they might be swapping positions pretty soon. KOL Fighter was defending from Rob 2K, who did get that overtake on there, so he's improved on his position. He's now up into 10th place. That's Romelson. We can see there just ahead of him, and in fact Rob is closing in there as well. TK Drifter, look how close he's got there. Right, let's just try it. Oh! Okay, what's happened there? Somebody... No, don't do it. That just disappeared on its own. There we go. Right, we've seen contact there on the way into the pits. I'm not sure if somebody tried to go into the pits or what happened, but we definitely saw a bit of a mishap there between a few of the podium contenders. TK Drifter Arms. Looks like he came off worse for wear there as well. He's down in 10th, and a lot of cars have instantly made it past him while he was trying to get into the pits. So we'll let the timing board fully update that one as we jump on board with Cool Racing and SBR Milden. And see how the two Mercedes are coming through. In fact, let's talk about Bruno. He's had hardly any camera time in the opening 24 minutes, and that's because he's been absolutely flawless. It's very true what they say. You don't know how well something works until it doesn't. And Bruno has definitely been working absolutely fine at the moment. 9.3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. A handsome margin not afforded to many other of the drivers in the race with Cool Racing and Milden. Absolutely inseparable since Milden got that lap 1, turn 1 overtake. There is Cool Racing coming into the pits. 36 minutes left to go. He's going to get his mandatory done and out the way. KOL fighter. Still sandwiched between the two cars. Rob 2K and Clay. It's from Melson that's feeling the pressure. Cool Racing. So Morex has made his way through. All the drivers have taken their pits. TK Drifter is out and he is ahead of Jetpacker Nebula and Arms. In fact, Arms, is that in fact Morex in third? Yes, it is. So he's just unlapped himself against third place through the pit stop. As I was saying, 77% of your lap you can lose here just with a simple stop. Cool Racing now, he's tumbling down the order as he is into the pits. Although yeah, we did see him coming in. There's Hendricks coming in as well. It's getting busy in there now. 35 minutes left to go. There's Cool Racing exiting the pits. TK Drifter just coming through the final corner. So it's going to be pretty close, but it should be game on to Cool Racing. TK Drifter just into turn 1 and Cool Racing already on his way through turns 3 and 4. So has maintained his positional advantage over TK Drifter and Jetpacker Nebula. In the back, and then Morex is once again back ahead of the Audi. There's Milden coming in the pit, so the Mercedes drivers pitting straight after one another. 34 minutes left to go, and it's having some fun with us this evening, isn't it? We'll definitely get there. We'll definitely get there. Let me just cover this up again so we can't see the passwords going in. As I did mention, we've got the Endurance Series on the PS5 as well. That's got Paul Ricard to come. We've got Spa, Monza, Barcelona, Kyalami, and Indianapolis on the calendar there. So make sure you set the dates. December 2nd, January 6th, February the 1st, March the 3rd, April 7th, and May the 5th. All the important dates for that one. If I do that, and that. And, oh no, hold up. Ba-da-ba. The concentration when you're trying to type using the joypad, it's really surreal. There we go, we're back in the server. This, of course, is round number 5. It's Zolder. It's the 4th or 5th time we've rejoined. We'll get there. There we go. Oh, and there's a Ferrari come sliding into the pits. Hopefully we're not causing any lag issues. The race leader is into the pits. That was KOL Fighter we saw sliding his way in. But Bruno is in the pits, as is Buzzy. Jetpacker Nebula, well down the order. Romelson must have just come into the pits as well, so we'll wait on the timing boards to fully update exactly what's going on. Hopefully we've not missed too much. Bruno, oh, there's Art Connor just making his way through, but that's G Harvey we're on board. But oh, and he's got a bit lively on his way into the pits. There's Arms just jumping through the field as well. But it is Morex who's the on-track leader at the moment. Bruno is back out of the pits. He's got Buzzy just ahead. WTR just behind. Where is Cool Racing? He's into turn number 2. So the chase is definitely on, and he is ahead of Milden. So he has got that overtake done through the pit stop, and there's a stop go for speeding in the pit lane. KWL Fighter. Absolutely not what he was needing, and he's got himself a stop go 32nd. Again, with the pit stops here being so massively detrimental on time, that is an absolute race killer. Blue Mosquito in 20th position, trying to get past Hendricks for that 19th place. And we've got Mix 64, Andy Crane, Arms just ahead. Romelson finding himself just behind Jetpacker Nebula. KWL Fighters going to tumble down the order. TK Drifter trying to catch up to SBR Milden, who now finds himself with a 2.3 second deficit. So Cool Racing really did get this one done and dusted in the pits. Brandon Glover, he's 5th on track at the moment. He does of course have his pit stop to take, but he was up to 13th position from 26th place before the pit stop started, and it looks like he's looking for another positional improvement here as well. Rob 2K trying to get past Art Corner. There's Brandon and Clay in the background. Morex 11 seconds ahead of these drivers. Here he is coming at the pits, and that's another Ferrari. That's KWL Fighter coming in to serve his penalty. Rob and Art Corner, that's the halfway mark in the race. Drive through for track limits, Valren. Very easy. Oh, and he's totally lost it through the chicane as the race is 2nd and 3rd in the race, and 4th make their way through. Valren not having the best of races then. Flying From and Brandon Glover both coming into the pits. So does Morex. So it'll be Art Corner and Rob 2K who will lead the way on track. Neither of them coming into the pits. Oh, actually, or are they? Let's wait and see. No, they're definitely through. So is Clay. Bruno will, of course, get himself ahead of Morex. That's the stop go 30-second penalty cleared. That is Arms, who is trying to catch up to Romelson. Battle of the Audis. We've got a big gap back to G Harvey. I'm expecting that delta to iron itself out once we get the pit stops done and dusted. Buzzy and WTR are trying to get away past the bluest of mosquitoes in that Lamborghini. And KWL Fire, that's him dropping down the order after serving that penalty. Now got Nico behind him. Valren comes in to serve his drive-through. Andy Cray is, I think, going to be promoted to position there potentially. We'll have to see if he was a lap down or not, which we'll check on momentarily when we get back into the race. It's been a cracker so far, been an amazing season, and as I said, the man of the moment, TK Drifter, he leads the championship by 2 points, and he hasn't won a race so far. 2 trips onto the podium out of 4, and it finds him leading the way 4 races in, and he is definitely in the hunt as far as the rest of this race goes. Still a lot of action that can happen at Zolder. Oh, that's not what we wanted. There we go. We'll pop that in. Bear with me 2 seconds. And connect. Do-do-do. Righty-ho, there we go, we're back in. That awkward silence, as you can hear me furiously typing with a joypad. But we are back. Art, Connor and Clay still to take their pit stops then. Looks like they're the last two to do so. A lot of blue flags. Oh, WTR and Blue Mosquito make contact on the exit of the first chicane, that is. And that is second and third that have just made their way through. K-Wheel Fighter is right in the middle of that as well. The two lead Mercedes certainly won't be looking to get involved in that. There is TK Drifter there. He should gain 2 positions when Connor and Clay come in to take their position. Brandon Glover up to 9th place then. He's got himself ahead of Jetpack. No, he's not. He's just behind, sorry, Jetpack and Nebula. That is about to update itself. But still an absolutely phenomenal drive from Brandon. Didn't get a qualification time set and found himself starting in 26th position. He's now up into 10th place, and you would think he's going to be ahead of Connor and Clay as well. Because it's hard, although Jetpack or Nebula is down the order a bit. He's behind Rob 2K and he's behind Morex. So Morex is on a stunning drive as well. So we'll see Jetpack and Nebula. Still was the fastest lap of the race so far. So definitely got the pace to get it done. As we've got 25 minutes left. No rain so far either. The clouds certainly preempting it. But no clouds at the moment. And it is Romario, he's in the pits. Andy Cray 25th, Val Ren and Nico 23rd and 24th. G Harvey in that 22nd place with WTR in 21st. K-Wheel Fighter in 20th, as you can see, just behind Blue Mosquito. That is 2nd and 3rd. That's Milden, who's sitting just behind the Ferrari there. Blue Mosquito just ahead in 19th. GT Jamie in 18th place. And we'll get a rundown of the rest of the order momentarily as we see what's happening. It's been a fun one this evening, hasn't it? It almost made sense when I got kicked out during quali, because we had a driver join during quali. I thought maybe that, but this is yeah, this is very strange. Even just simply switching between drivers now is getting me the old boot. So we'll jump back in and we'll see what we can do. I'm getting really good at typing this password now. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Wanted the shorter password. Now plenty of excuse to use it. Let's see how our 26 intrepid souls are getting on as soon as we get back in. There we go. Phenomenal. We'll get the track loaded back up again. And there we go. Oh, while we've been gone, Art Connor is in the pits and Rob 2K is back out. Now, where is he compared to Jetpack? He is ahead of Jetpack or Nebula. He is indeed. Arms 9th from Nelson 10th. Brandon Glover in 11th. Clay 12th. Flying Throme in 13th. Mix in 14th place. Renville in 15th position. Hendricks in 16th. GT Jamie in 17th. Blue Mosquito in 18th. KOL Fighter in 19th. Buzzy is in 20th. WTR 21st, G Harvey 22nd, Nico and Val Ren 23rd and 24th, and Andy Cray 25th position. Romario 18 laps down in the pits. Jetpack and Nebula got all the work to do as we come into the closing stages of the race. There's the calendar. In fact, you know what they've got? Let's have a look at this. Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. You know what? I thought I could get myself in time for that video running. And now we need to ask for a longer video and shorter passwords. Haha. Yeah, I don't know if it's a remote play thing or what, but we're having problems with the server tonight. But that's fine as long as the drivers aren't. That is the most important thing. It would be nice if they could actually see the fruits of their labours on screen. We'll see if we can catch any more of the action. There's certainly going to be plenty more to come as Melson Arms and Jetpacker Nebula are all very close to Rob 2K. He's managed to get himself out of the pits ahead of all of them. Phenomenal drive there again. Brandon Glover up 15 positions overall, so not bad going there whatsoever. Buzzy 20th position, trying to close in on KOL Fighter. But unfortunately, we won't get to see if that overtake comes to fruition straight away. And you guys, you guys didn't even get to see it because I didn't put the live screen back on, and I've been kicked out again anyway. So I've saved you that little disconnect. It seems very unstable. I'm wondering if the other servers are having the same issue. And we're back. Sorry, I didn't realise there's no sound coming through there. I'm trying to keep on top of everything else. Hopefully we make it there. 17 minutes left to go. We'll just slowly go from car to car rather than jumping through them quickly. It doesn't seem to like when we do that. So we'll just chill it here on Rob 2K. Now does find himself behind Jetpacker Nebula. So that overtake did fully come to fruition while we were absent. It looks like Romelson and Ams there in the background have changed position also, with Ams now ahead. It's still Bruno leading the way, 9.5 seconds of a gap in Cool Racing. Now he's got himself into second place. He's definitely not looking back. He has got 4.8 seconds back to Milden. TK Drifter just over 5 seconds off that lead group. So pretty stretched out over the podium positions. Again, don't really want to jump up and down the order just in case. We'll see how we get on if we just leave it on. Yeah, we'll leave on this little battle here for the moment. It's Jetpack and Nebula in 7th. He is the fastest car on track with that purple lap at the moment. The track fully optimum. The track has dropped 3 degrees while the race has been running. Right, okay, everybody is already racing as well. So yeah, just checking a few things here, but we'll stay on board, like I say, with this battle at the moment. We don't want to jump up and down the order too often, although it does look like Brandon Glover looking for more improvements. He's closing in on Romelson. Oh, and that is Nico carrying a bit of damage. KOL fighter. He's definitely fighting his way up the field in the Ferrari. He's got WTR, fellow Ferrari driver, just ahead of him, looking to make an improvement on his standings in this one. As we see in the foreground, Blue Mosquito and Buzzy going side by side. There's a traffic cone mullered off onto the side of the track. Buzzy still in 19th place. Into the first chicane. All 4 cars very quickly through. Now let's have a look and see how Brandon Glover's getting on. Just down a bit. That's not where he's aiming for. Nice. Morex having a great drive as well. He's into 5th position. TK Drifter has got that overtake. He'll of course TK Drifter be looking for as many points as possible to maintain that lead up at the top. With Cool Racing and Milden both finishing ahead of him, although he's 2 points ahead of Milden, so it is going to be very, very, very close up at the top. Milden's just about done enough to take the lead into week number 6. Because everyone is racing. Hopefully the broadcast is still working okay. Yep, I can see on that screen there. There we go. Just double checking because of course last week it did crack for some bizarre reason. No idea why. But we are still running with 13 minutes left to go. Don't want to run down the order too quickly. Blue Mosquito and WTR though. They are still looking very close. WTR is ahead now, so is Buzzy and KOL Fighter. Looking to get ahead of the Lamborghini driver as well. We've got Rob 2K in that 8th place, and Morex still hanging on to the slipstream of TK Drifter, despite the Nissan getting a nice overtake done. Not able to stretch that gap out, so Morex still within striking distance with 12 minutes left to go. Let's be brave and have a quick run down the order as we approach the last 10 minutes. He says, Winsing Romario in the pits early doors, well on lap 31, so only 5 laps into the race unfortunately. Andy Cray currently in 25th position. Why is the camera stopped there? Where is Andy Cray? Oh, he's stationary on the start-finish straight. Okay. Yellow flags. He's definitely going to have to move that car because that's a prime overtaking spot. G. Harvey, 24th. Val Wren in 23rd. Nico in 22nd position. Carrying a bit of damage there by the look of it, with Blue Mosquito in 21st place. Inside the top 20. It is the dueling Ferraris of KOL Fighter and WTR. With Buzzy in 18th place. We've got GT Jamie in 17th position. That is the battle for 7th, just behind them then. So there is going to be... not the battle for 7th, sorry. That is the battle for 4th place. There's Hendricks in 16th position. Yep, there he is there. Renville's in 15th place. I wasn't sure who that was just ahead of him. We'll cut sight of that in a moment. When I get us logged back in. See how quickly we can get these buttons. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's Blue Mosquito. I'm scared to look down the order again, but that was Blue Mosquito having a spin there in the back, and we're on board with KOL Fighter. Blue Mosquito's going to tumble down the order. Let's see. Pop it onto Morex. Bruno has extended his lead by a second and a half. Since last we were here, and Rob 2K is behind Jetpack and Nebula, but he's certainly looking to get that overtake done. What I do know at the moment is Blue Mosquito potentially 21st for some of a big spin there, so that might change as they come through time in Delta. The two fighting Ferraris, we did get through there, 20th and 19th. Buzzy is in 18th, with GT Jamie in 17th, Hendricks in 16th, Renville, Mix and Flying Throne 13th, 14th and 15th. Clay in 12th place. Oh, GT Jamie. Drive through for track limits. Only the second one we've seen so far. Blue Mosquito comes in to the pits to get some damage repaired, so that was a big hit he took. We've just seen some white flags as well. And someone is still sat on the start-finish line. That is Andy Cray. There is a battle going on here as well still between the two Ferraris. Absolutely getting the fear. Let's keep an eye on this battle here. Yeah, let's just watch the McLaren and the Nissan for the moment. Not many laps left to go. 7 minutes left on the clock. It's been a very quick 53 minutes up to now. And the drivers, safe to say they've been a bit lucky with the amount of cloud that was on the radar. Rain was certainly promised, but none has arrived. The track temperature has dulled slightly. Oh, coming in that first chicane, the McLaren really looking to get that move. Just ahead of them, some battling back markers. We can see a big wiggle on exit from the Nissan. They're going to go side by side on their way into the second chicane. I've been calling this the first chicane for most of the commentary, but it is of course the second. As they head round to Yorkham Rent, and the McLaren really is looking the quicker of the two at the moment. TK Drifter knows he needs every single position he can to maintain his charge for the top of the championship. Morex took pole position at Bathurst last week in his debut, and has certainly shown some serious racecraft this week after a disappointing out at Bathurst. I've got is Bathurst. Bathurst things do tend to happen. And it was Morex in the McLaren that found themselves on the receiving end of most of them. Give me a second. And there we go, that's the wrong button, sorry, I've just did a bit of typing there. Back, that's Nico that's been given a drive-through penalty. That is the McLaren just getting out of the way of the battling two. Val Wren. Blue Mosquito's in the pits, he might not be coming back out by the look of it. Andy Cray still sat there, and KOL Fighter still trying to get his way past WTR. Oh, Blue Mosquito. It's gone from bad to worse. He's got a stop-go for speeding in the pit lane. Not what he needed. Let's just leave it a few seconds there, and then we'll jump back to Moritz. We don't jump too quickly again. Still these two battling for this fourth place. Again, TK Drifter knows he needs absolutely every single point he can to maintain his championship lead. That is a drive-through being cleared. So the track limits violations all been accounted for. Blue Mosquito will have that 30-second stop-go still to serve. KOL Fighter still trying to get his way past WTR. But we'll just run up and down the order at the moment. Another 2 seconds Bruno has found. So he might not have the fastest lap in the race. But he is certainly proven to be the fastest driver on the track. Consistently increasing the gap between himself and the rest of the field. Although just as I say that, he does indeed drop a second. We're on board with Art Connor by mistake. We should be on board with Morex, who's still trying to get that fourth place from the TK Drifter. Milden with 3.5 minutes left to go. Third place looks like his lot. It's going to be a big ask overturning the gap that Milden has got over him at the minute. Although I did just say Bruno kept extending the gap, but no Milden. Still that 3 seconds. Drifter fourth, Moritz fifth. One of the back markers, Ferraris, just helping himself to a bit of free slipstream. Andy Cray still sat there. He's 19 laps down. Blue Mosquito in serving that stop go 32nd there. G Harvey, Nico and Val Wren still all outside the top 20 positions. Inside the top 20, those GT Jamie, KOL Fighter and WTR. Those two still battling as well. The McLaren knows he doesn't have much time left, and it looks like he's going to try and force the issue into the first chicane. He's right in that slipstream. Needs a solid exit, gets one with that. The Nissan really can ride over that exit curve a lot better than the McLaren can, and that is definitely a huge advantage to the Nissan driver at the moment. KOL Fighter. Yeah, these two Ferraris still pretty inseparable with GT Jamie just down the road. Don't want to be too keen jumping through the drivers. Rob 2K and Arms. Oh, WTR track limits. He's only got 2 minutes. He's going to have to come in right now to serve that, or he's going to get a massive time penalty come the end of the race. Not what he was hoping for, especially after defending for so long against fellow Ferrari driving KOL Fighter. Buzzy just ahead of him as well. Yeah, oh, and he's caught the dirt. Need to be careful. We've seen as many stop-goes as we'll have drive-throughs for track limits. We're safely back on with Morex. He's still within half a second, still applying the pressure to TK Drifter. A minute and a half left to go. And there is Bruno. He's had the least camera time of anybody in the race. He has not put a foot wrong. And he's coming up very quickly to one of the BMWs. I'd run down the order and see who it is, but that doesn't seem to end well for us at the moment, unfortunately. We've got a minute and 9 left to go. So he's going to cross the line with over half a minute left. But this... See, now that's not... Leader is on the final lap. There we go. So confirmation. That is the final lap being begun. The position's certainly not decided though. TK Drifter and Morex still dueling it out. With one lap left to sort the affairs. 0.3 of a second separates them as they cross the line. 39 laps in. And they are still looking to battle. Mix 64. Looking to improve on his position as well. That's Flying Frome in the Aston. Looking at 13th position in this race. They're on their final lap as well. Morex, can he carve out an overtake between now and the end of the lap? Oh, it just jumped to drive there. Let's hope I don't get kicked jumping between these. Please let us see the end of the race, please. Morex, is he going to settle for 5th? Is he going to try something late in the lap? If he is running out of corners to get it done. Is he going to try and get close here? Bruno coming... Oh, he's already through the hairpin, in fact. He's coming into the final chicane now. And it is an absolutely flawless performance from Bruno. He took pole position in qualifying, and after 40 laps of racing, he finds himself taking the checkered flag. So congratulations there. Let's see if Morex does indeed get an overtake done. Nope, he doesn't. Into the final chicane, his positions as done. So nice and gently, we've got Cool Racing crossing the line in 2nd place. Milden is going to take 3rd position. TK Drifter will take 4th, with Morex very close behind in 5th place. It's Art Connor looking like he is going to take himself 6th position, with Jet Packer Nebula currently sitting in 7th. Did take the fastest lap of the race. Involved in some great battles right the way through. There is the Jetpacker taking the checker flag. Not too far down the road. It is Arms in 8th, and he's got Rob 2K right on his tail in 9th position. Romelson taking the checker flag for 10th, and it's Brandon Glover. Started in 26th position. Finds himself up into 15th place. Clay in 12th, with Flying Frome going to get the checker flag to take 13th, with Renville, unfortunately with some early damage, find himself in 14th position. Already given the checkered flag is Hendricks in 15th, Buzzy in 16th place, KOL Fighter in 17th, GT Jamie in 18th, and WTR, thanks to that drive-through penalty right at the end of the race. Excuse me. Finds himself in 20th position. It's 21st of Valren. Nico finished in 22nd. G. Harvey in 23rd, with Blue Mosquito in 24th position. Andy Cray and Romania unable to finish the race. Well, that was certainly an interesting one. I'm not sure how many highlights we'll actually get from this. I've only managed to save the replay, but there we go. So we'll see a bit of that running. So there we go then. That was round number 5 at Zolder. A few technical issues in and out of the server there. Apologies for that. Hopefully we'll get that stabilised for next week, which will of course be the 90-minute outing at Monza. 2 mandatory pit stops and a whole lot of Italian chicanes for our drivers to make their way through. And a championship, again, as I said, this will not be decided until the top 7 at least cross the line for the final time during the last race. And that's not the screen that should still be that one. That, of course, will be Laguna Seca. There is the payment if you do want to support Formula Racing League in their sim racing endeavours. Over 80 drivers tonight taking part across PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So if you do want to help support that, FormulaRacingLeague.co.uk is where you can find all the information. The support of the elites and aliens, you'll all receive a driver number reserved seat for free in an FRL Lotto entry. The elites and aliens will also receive a number logo, coaching, and the new to PC sim racing guide as soon as it becomes available. And the aliens, on top of all that, will receive an overlay banner, yearly prizes, SimHub Dash, Elgato ACC icons, and a custom livery. Phenomenal stuff. That's if you want to jump on board and support. Of course, you just want to join in on track, go onto the Discord, get yourself involved, go onto SimGrid, get signed up to the events. Events like the endurance race, which I'll be bringing you on December the 2nd. And next week, as I said, November the 22nd, make sure you're here for that 90 minutes of Monza and championship points and positions all to be decided. Just as we did that, and that's now all shaken. So let me just back over here and pop this back into replay mode. But thank you very much to everyone that was involved on track this evening. Thanks to everyone hopefully everyone enjoyed the racing action that we saw. More on track next week, and of course on Twitch as well with the PC drivers. The world's greatest ACC commentator, Mr. Comanix, bringing you all the action, as well as James, and of course Coops, the ledge. He actually does all his comms on camera. Incredible stuff. But until we meet again, thank you very much for this evening.